Hello everybody, my name is Katarina Vitalisova as Anna. I'm from the Faculty of Economics, Matej University in Banska Bystrica. And for today workshop, I prepare the example of our university, how we cooperate with praxis, especially with the local municipality Banska Bystrica, where is also the seat of our university. I prepare for you also a short map how far we are from Ostrov, and we are in the center of the Slovakia. And here is the seat of our university from 1990. And now Matej University includes 6 different faculties. It is the Faculty of Education, Economic, Arts, Natural Sciences, International Affairs, and Law. Because we have quite a great scope of scientific fields that we cover, but we don't include technical sciences. All our cooperation is more oriented on development some fields in social sciences and humanity sciences, and also a bit of natural sciences, but more it is like a social and humanity-oriented university. So it is a public university, and it is also a member of European University Association. At the university, there are some study programs that are offered also in French, also in English. And what is also something like special is that we have also a few common study programs with foreign universities. For example, at our faculty, economic, we have a good cooperation with French universities, Polish universities, as well German universities. And if students are accepted for these study programs, they usually get two diplomas from the Slovak university and from the foreigner university. We are very good in different projects in basic but also in applied research, and the university has also long time lifelong learning program. It includes also some activities like a children's university, as well as also the university of the third age for seniors, to if they want to develop the experience, maybe their knowledge in some specific areas, in languages, for example, or some like natural sciences and so on. For this presentation for workshop, I choose the example how our university developed the third mission of the university. Probably you already know about this because you are the representative of universities. In Slovakia, it's more elaborated this topic from 2010. Also, our university declared that it wants to be a partner of local development and to somehow develop the activities which strongly support the social, economic, and cultural development. So, one of the area where this third mission is implemented is in education, in the study programs, as well as in research, but also in some soft activities like promotion of the university or some cooperation with the stakeholders from the region and from the city. On this picture you can see some basic definition, how is the third mission defined by the theory. And as I said, from more actively from 2013 to 2015, our university starting to realize a few activities which are in a scope of third mission of the universities. Now, the third mission is also the part of strategic aims of the university. As I said, they are closely connected or related to three main areas, which are something like a base mission of universities. It is the research, the teaching, and also the university engagement in social and culture life. The strategic priorities of our universities, they include 5 main priorities, and the third priority is named as the third mission of the universities, and it is more oriented on the cooperation with the public partners, with the private sector, or all the relevant actors from the region where the university is situated. This third mission is more specified in some partial aims, and I will go through them and I will try to explain you some examples. The first area where the third mission of the university is implemented is the education and research activities. It is reflected in changing of education and study programs, then in utilization of service learning strategy, as well as in research projects, in a project of applied research, also some collaborative projects with the public sector and public entities, and as well also in participation of Matej University employees in various expert commission, expert groups, or some evaluation commissions. As a first example, and the second part of these priorities also to develop more social awareness, especially because Banska Bystrica is a little bit specific because we had here a little bit problem with the extremist political party, and they were like head of regional government a few years ago, and that's why here is also the priority of the university to develop awareness of young people and somehow to prevent the spreading the information on different topics which are in scope of extremism. So some examples, as I said, for example, during the last half of the year, UMB is a very important partner in development of regional strategy for smart education at the secondary schools. We are now cooperating with the regional government. We are in a stage of analysis of the region. We try to collect important information about the state of art in education in various kind of secondary schools, and we are preparing some recommendation in a form of strategy, how should be the secondary education developed, also to be more better connected with the university, but also to prepare the students better for the labor market. This strategy is closely connected with another one where is the university also a key stakeholder. It is the employment strategy of region. Where it is realized also in cooperation not only with the Matej University but also with the Technical University from Zvolen. And we cooperate in preparing the recommendation how should be develop the secondary education in a scope of reflecting the needs of labor market. We are quite big region and we have a lot of differences in jobs, occupancies, as well as level of regional development. The a little bit worse situation is on the south part of our region, and better is in the big cities like Banska Bystrica. So it's quite ambitious to prepare some good strategy how to at least a little bit eliminate this big difference. Then we quite good cooperate with region also in preparing the regional innovation strategy. It is very important document for the regional development in Slovakia, because this document is a basis for using European funds for the new period of programming or also the framework of support of European Union. So we are quite important partner, because we will involve into this strategy also our own projects that can be later supported by the European funds, and we would like to implement them with local partners. Then this process of creation of this strategy is quite difficult and also very time consuming, and there is created a lot of expert groups for various fields of development, like economic development, development of social services, development of environment, or development of civic society. And each of this group include also some experts from the Matej University. And what is also important activity for our university is the cooperation with the local municipalities, especially as I am from the Department of Regional Development and Public Economics. We closely cooperate with the cities and villages, and we're preparing or cooperate with them in preparation of strategical documents. Usually it is like development document of economic and social development, or some marketing strategies for them. We have also the Department of Tourism, and they prepare, for example, the tourism strategies for the cities, for the tourism destination. So the scope of cooperation with the municipalities is quite wide. A very important step in development of the cooperation with praxis, not only with the cities, but with really different actors from the region, is implementation of project education strategy service learning. I'm not sure if you already know this strategy, but it is it was more developed in South America, I think, and in Slovakia, our ambassador of this topic is Faculty of Education, and they developed a few courses where this method of learning, of service learning, is implemented. It is based on the cooperation with the specific actors from the territory. The students have to, as a part of their evaluation during the selected course, realize some activity which is beneficial for the community, and they have to fulfill some specific aim which they settle at the beginning. I will give you some examples how it works, but usually this research task or the problem area which is solved can be defined by the stakeholder from the region, or it can be identified by the students' survey. And if it is settled by the exactly defined organization, they also usually say also which methods they recommend. Or there is also possibilities that they just say that we have problem with this, and you are free to choose which tools, which methods you will use. Or the task can be just on students. They choose based on the student survey, define the problem, and they are free to find the right solution, how it will be realized. So here are some examples. Like the first is that, as I said, that there is some specific social problem like extremism or the acceptance of marginal groups like gypsies or some healthy people, disabled people, and so on. The students identify this as a problem to build awareness because there is maybe some problem with acceptance of these people among the students of secondary and primary schools. And they organize the project named as wall demolition or something like demolate the stereotypes in seeing some kind of people, and they prepared in the form of living library or life library the discussion with two people which were somehow which had some weakness or some disadvantage in social life. The one was the lady which worked with the people who have problems with the roof over their head, and the second was a young lady suffering from alopecia in her life. And there was discussion to build some awareness how are the problems of these people, how they are integrated into the life, and so on. The second project, the example of the project, is the Soup of Aid. It is organized in Banska Bystrica from December 2018. The main organizer is Matej University, but now, because it's still working, this project, it is organized also with cooperation with the city and with local entrepreneurs. The first idea was to find a way how to support the people who have in a bad social situation, and the students' idea was to organize the lunch in the local restaurant, and all collecting money for the lunch from the people will be used like a donation for this poor family, which is selected on some specific criteria. And it is now like a tradition that every second Monday in the month, yes, there is event that you can go to this local restaurant and to buy a lunch, but these money are not used like for benefits of the local restaurant, but they are collected by the students, and there are then like a donation given to the family in need. So also they were quite creative, and from 2020, because of COVID, and all restaurants were also closed for a few months in Banska Bystrica, they introduced also the new possibilities how to support these families, for example, by online payment or by bank transfers. Also, you can donate these families also regularly by some specific amount of money that you send to the account of the foundation, which is something like a co-partner in organization of this event. And all these activities are realized by students, and they do it like a part of their course evaluation. And the last one example is also the example of project which was something like a reflection of this COVID situation and the problems of people who are isolated, and they could have also some psychological problems. So this Faculty of Education, they selected some volunteers, and they prepared a special project for the older people who live alone, and they need to communicate with somebody to be not so much isolated and to have some social contact. So the people could call for the exact telephone number, and they could agree that some students will come and will spend with the older people some time to help them overcome or to spend some time also in COVID, but in social contact with people. So here in this case, for example, the teachers were like tutors, and they reflect the experience of two students, and they try to guide them somehow to feel their mission as the best one for the older people. Then we have a few projects which are closely connected to the cities and villages, also in Slovakia. Just now we are working on two research projects, but they are like more applied. There is applied research, so we provide some specific solution for the cities in Slovakia. And the first one is oriented on behavioral intervention in local government, local municipality. Probably you heard about the behavioral economics, and like a main idea of this approach is that by nudges, small intervention, it's possible to influence the behavior of citizens or behavior of people generally. And in this case, in 3 Slovak cities, now we realize this project in some specific areas. In the first stage of the project, we identified the exact fields where this intervention can be realized. And in Banská Bystrica, we realized this intervention in 2 main areas. The first area is the care about the public spaces. On this picture, you can see that we were in one of the main square in Banská Bystrica, and the students marked with spray the chewing gums on the floor, and they want to show how it is said that we somehow damage our environment. And by this interaction, by this nudging, that we mark these chewing gums, it should influence the behavior of citizens, not to give there anymore the chewing gums. It is sometimes somehow like an experiment, and after 2 weeks we come there again and we try to collect if there is a less chewing gums or even it's still more and more. We find out that the situation is a bit better because there are some new chewing gums on the floor, but still probably less like without this intervention. The second intervention is on the taxis, paid taxis. We prepare 3 leaflets for the local municipality, and they will send these leaflets with the call to the citizens to pay the tax. And these 3 leaflets, they have 3 different ideas. The first one say that if you don't pay the tax, then you can lose your driving license, or the city can take your money from your account. The second one is that if you please pay the tax, because all citizens already pay the tax. And the third one is that pay the tax because the people with the same surname already pay the tax. So it is now just realized this experiment, and we will evaluate the results during December. If these leaflets were successful and they somehow influence, we will compare the group of people of each leaflet with the people who didn't receive any leaflet. The next project that we are working on is development some smart solution for the local municipalities. We now realized quite deep research how the situation in development or implementation of new approaches in local municipalities is realized. And after this evaluation of the research results, we will prepare some recommendations for the cities, how they can implement this approach maybe more more effective or more easy, also in more systematic way. We prepare for this project also some workshop. This workshop will be aimed special on the representatives of cities and villages. And they are also the representatives of which cities and villages. They are also invited to participate at the workshop and discuss with us our recommendation. And the next year we should implement also some first small solution, for example, how to use the open data or which kind of activities could be maybe done in more smart way with the utilization of IT, or which activities of smart governance can be done more participative way with different stakeholders and so on. So we just preparing this workshop, so it's quite a lot of work during these days. Then, as I already mentioned a little bit, we have a lot of different activities in preparing some strategical document. To the last one which we prepare belong, for example, the program of social and economic development of the city Žarnovica. It is a smaller city, but the industrial one, and quite fast developing during last years. Also, we prepared the concept for the development of smart city in Banská Bystrica. Then we have a quite good cooperation with the regional government. I already mentioned that we process or we cooperate in the elaboration of smart education strategy, but also we were like experts invited in a project realized by World Bank in this region. Then also we have the faculty, also some experts which are quite good in development of social services. So they are cooperating, developing the social service centers across the region, in different parts of the region. Then we had quite good cooperation, for example, also with the national level of administration. This was with the Ministry of Interior, and we cooperate in a big research of civil society, and this research the results of this research are something like a basis for the new legislative reforms of civic organization, and we are now in the process of preparing the recommendation for the changing of laws in Slovakia. And what is another activities, but maybe not the research activities or applied research. There are some activities oriented on building awareness in the city, also the development as a friendship between the university and city. We have something like a set of events in the form of discussion, city to university, university to city. It is based on this discussion with the successful graduates of the university which work in the city, and they do something special for the city. Then we were also the member of program board for the project City of Culture Banská Bystrica. It is a Slovak national competition where Banská Bystrica applied for this title during last year. And what we are preparing now is that as a partner, Matej University would like to establish with the city a new institute. It is the Institute of Open Governance. We have a little bit problem in Slovakia generally with the awareness of citizens, how to be involved in the local governance. So the aim of this institute will be to develop these skills of citizens and to also build awareness of Slovak people, how they can be involved into the local governance. We plan to realize there's some learning projects, educating activities, but also some strategies maybe in this area for other cities in Slovakia. But it is just like in a stage of preparation, and it should be probably supported from the European funds for the next programming period. Just maybe a few words that also the members of the university and the employees are usually members of different expert groups for the cities, for regions, also for some special advices in specific fields of tasks which are in hands of municipalities, regions, and to the cooperation with the city, we count also the cooperation with successful graduates, because we have specific programs, study programs, which produce the graduates that are directly employed in public administration, in cities, in municipal authorities, regional authorities. So for us, it's this cooperation, I think, with town and with region, with public administration, quite important. As well as, for example, we prepare the qualification works directly on the needs of praxis, on the needs of cities which cooperate with us. And then the solutions are usually also in reality implemented. So maybe because it's time, if you have any question, I will be happy to answer.
Yes, we have a questions. You can ask.
Katarina, thank a lot for your presentation. As I seen from your slides, university stress a lot attention for the topic, such topic as a governments, city governments, policies, yes, and as I understand, you develop analytic expertise among your colleagues, and you allow amount of data to elaborate with some solution. What kind of data you find most important? What obstacles you face it in this process of collecting and elaborating of data, and how you overcome these obstacles?
Okay, so if we prepare some strategical documents, like a first usually source of data, we use the data from statistical office, but here are the data more available only on the regional level. So then the specific statistical data on cities usually have to ask from the city. And during last 2-3 years, there is like a great stress or focus of cities to publish also open data. So also like Banska Bystrica, we now have the special portal where are these open data published, so we can use them free. But still, there are, like in Žarnovica, which we work with this city, they are not so big. They don't have so many, maybe so big support. Also, they don't publish this data, so we just ask for them. We cooperate with them. We exactly define what we need, and they collect this data across the whole authority. And as you said, it's difficult because it takes a lot of time to exactly define, explain what we need. Then they again collect this data across the different departments. So it takes a lot of time. But in this case, we just do like this way, because there is not any other solution. Maybe if there will be some progress also in this open data at the national level, and there will be some support by legislative that they have to publish this data, it would help, but not all cities have this. I think I have information that in Slovakia we have 141 cities and just 15 cities publish this open data.
Did you provide your own research, maybe field research, maybe distribute questionnaire and etc. type of collecting information?
Yes, usually when we prepare the strategical document, there is a special research or usually survey we use among citizens, another one among private sector like entrepreneurs usually. And if there is still interest, for example, in Banska Bystrica we have quite a big non-profit sector, so we use also the survey among non-profit organizations. But for example, in this Žarnovice, there is this small city. They have some non-profit organization, so we organize just a meeting with them. If they were interested, they come and they discuss with us this topic.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, maybe somebody else. So there are not questions for you.
May I ask one philosophical, conceptual questions concerning the third mission of university that Katarina mentioned. Katarina, what do you mean about, what do you think about the role of university in decrease of distance to power? You may know it's Hofstede method. It's some criteria. One of the criteria is distance to power, and university as an intellectual center, the playground for the discussion as an institution able to provide some impact for society to decrease this distance to power. What your opinion about topic?
I'm not sure if I understand it well, but you mean that also the university should somehow build awareness of the citizens and so on? You mean this? Like
yes, and more about this elaborate and distribute new practice is change attitude to power. Because as for me, it's very important to the post-Soviet area where distance to power is very long, because this tradition the power was
yes. I can maybe give you one example what happened in Slovakia now, that there is I think we have quite same problem, because when we were part of the Soviet Union, the people were not able, or they don't have the skills, they don't have the ideas how they can influence the public policy. And in Slovakia, because of also this quite big national project oriented on the participation of citizens, I think it helped a lot, because it was implemented also by the universities, and now there is a pilot program of the Ministry of Interior that universities should involve in their curricula the course with the name the participative creation of public policy, and they explain to the students how the public policy can be created by participation of different stakeholders. So now here is really now something like a move to learn the people how to participate at the public policy and how to be an active citizen. That's true.
So with this kind of civic education, yes?
Yeah, but now it is on the level of incorporation into the university education. But I think they have a few webinars, for example, for rest of the population, but probably they will prepare also some more activities. They prepare also some conferences and so on. So really they want to build awareness of the people.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank a lot for Katarina and Anka. We have to go on. If somebody have some questions, you can maybe text them in chat, and the Anna and Katarina will answer you in chat.
Sure.
Thanks a lot. That was very useful. It was very, very interesting. And due to our program, we have one more speaker. It is Irina. Are you here? Are you with us?
Yes, I am with you. I hope you can hear me.
Tell us, please, how much time do you need to talk?
Yeah, I have prepared a presentation. I think so 30 slides, but I can adjust to your time program. Tell me how much time I have.
If you can do this for like 40 minutes, I don't know, that will be great.
I think I will manage.
Okay, so thank you. So the last one, but not the last in interesting things. Irina, go on. Can you present your screen? Yes, that's okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the invitation to present. I will now try to upload my presentation to open it. I'm starting. I hope, yeah, this will work. So can you see my screen or my presentation?
No.
And now?
No. So the fourth button, like present the screen, or maybe a start presentation, or
I did it. Your entire screen, window, tab.
So you have to push the like present, something like that. So you choose your screen and then you have to start presenting.
Yeah, I have not this. I cannot see this. You know, I have quite bad experience with Google Meet, so it doesn't work.
Jiřinka, ak vám môžem poradiť, ja som mala ráno rovnaký problém.
Áno.
Takže dala som to do okna.
Tak mě teď
sorry, I will speak with her in Slovak, it's better.
Já dám šipku nahoru, present now.
Áno, dajte si okno, window.
Window, ano.
A skúste teraz.
Sdílet, ano. So. Zkusila jsem.
Áno, ide to. It works.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So just push start present and this will be great.
Okay, tell me if it doesn't work. I will try my best. Thank you very much for the invitation. My name is Irina Jilkova. I am Czech. I live in Prague and work at the regional university in Ústí nad Labem. And I want to present the results and experience about creative industry and smart city. This is an experience from a research project we are now implementing at our university. This is a project we have initiated already in the year 2015. At that time, I was Vice Rector for Research, and my aim was to involve all the faculties in one project to promote interdisciplinary cooperation. And so we got the chance to submit a large project. We have then called that project Smart City, Smart Region, and Smart Community. And at that time, invested a lot of time to promote cooperation among faculties, among different specializations, because we have identified this factor as very important for the regional development, for the overall profile of the regions. It was very interesting to hear about the idea of the role of university in the region today in the morning. Just to our university, it's located in the Czech Republic in the northwestern part at the Elbe River. We say always the university and the city is located between Prague and Dresden. And the university and the city Ústí is located in the so-called coal mining region. We have 3 coal mining regions. One is, or 2 of them are in the Czech part, in Czechia, and the third one is located in Moravia. And this tells us immediately a lot about the profile of the region. This is the Ústí region, is old industrial region in the Czechia. The region has experienced dramatic growth in the 19th century, but a very dramatic and destroying development in the 20th century. The German population of the region was pushed to leave the region, and the city Ústí nad Labem has completely changed its social profile. The former name, the German name, was Aussich, and it's still in the memory of the population there. Brief about the history of the region of the Czechia. This northwestern part of the region played a key role in the industrial development, not only of the Czech region or then later of the Czechoslovakia, but in the whole Europe. And it was the center of the technical innovation. You can see the black part is just the intensity of the industrial development of the region, and the map, this is the former Czechoslovakia. This is the period until the mid of 19th century, and the period towards the end of the century, of the 20th century. And as I already said, the World War II brought a lot of destruction and social changes. The German population had to leave, and the post-socialist, and the socialist development was based on heavy industry and coal mining. And in the 90s, then the post-socialist period came, connected with intensive deindustrialization, depopulation of the region, and social changes. And you can see the effects of this coal mining and the industrial development in the 20th century on the landscape. These are examples of the landscape in the Ústí region, which is now currently remediated. Another example, this is close to the Ústí city. And the illustration of the economic development provides this picture. You can see the purple line is the GDP development per capita in the EU, which is increasing. And the red line, it is the GDP development per capita in Ústí region, and the blue line, red line, and yellow line, these are the 3 coal regions. They are typical for them in the Czech Republic is that the economic growth is rather slow, that all these regions have social problems with educational level, and they are lagging behind the overall development in the Czech Republic and in the EU. I present here an investigation about it was a survey done in 2012, and the question was what are symbols of the Ústí region, and the responses are the main symbol is the Roma population, which then came instead of the German population after the World War II. Industrial region, coal mining, unemployment, and air pollution. Almost all symbols are perceived in negative manner, and only the symbol of nature and the symbol of Elbe River might be interpreted as a positive element of the image of the region. This is the question again. It's a survey from 2012. Which region is best to live? And you can see the red line on the left side as a negative image and negative presentation of the region is connected with the Ústí region and with the Moravia Silesia region. Again, these two large coal regions in the Czech Republic. The Ústí nad Labem city, as I have already mentioned, lies at the river Elbe. Beautiful landscape, but destroyed, very much damaged city as such. And I would say it's a city of contrasts. At the left side, you can see brownfields, destroyed streets, formerly for the World War II, the proud of the city, and now depopulated by Roma people and symbol of poverty. On the right side, this is the theater, built already in the 19th century. Very nice, very rich building, and this is the city castle. And now the industrial heritage. This is a photo from a industrial site which was called Armaturfabrik or Armaturenfabrik. This is a photo from the 20th century. Currently used, this building has good luck. It's used as a museum by the university community. This is well-maintained building. But this is not the case of the buildings of the industrial heritage in Ústí. Ústí has very high share of brownfields, more than 50% of the area of the city, and most of them are really problematic brownfields left with no use. The university in Ústí nad Labem was established in 1991. It has 8 faculties, and the photo you can see, this is the building of the Faculty of Arts and Design, which was involved in the project I will present briefly in next minutes. The project we have started and we are now implementing within the concept we are now implementing within the project Smart Region is based on the idea that the future development of old industrial regions needs activation of internal resources. They are of key importance. Very important for the revitalization of the industrial regions is the improvement of the quality of life in the region and the improvement of the image of the city and region. But what we are facing in the region, which is common with old industrial regions towards Europe, there is a lack of good practice examples. The people are locked in the behavior. We observe missing public awareness, and the overall negative image of the region is fixed and continuously being presented towards the Central Europe, I would say. And the goal of the project team was to improve the quality of public spaces, to contribute to reimagining of negatively perceived old industrial region, to contribute to the brownfield revitalization, and it was aimed at the so-called commodification of industrial heritage, which means there is an attempt, and the goal is to develop the base for tourism development in form of excursions, museum centers, and the industrial heritage should serve not as negative element of the image of the city and of the region, but it should serve and should become a source of the prosperity of the region. We have implemented consequently interdisciplinary approach and promoted interdisciplinary cooperation, and specifically for the idea we wanted to development, we have initiated the collaboration among 3 faculties. It was Faculty of Science, the Department of Geography, Faculty of Arts and Design, and Faculty of Philosophy, the team of historians. It was a very demanding entertainment. We had to overcome institutional barriers. You might confirm our experience. The faculties usually act as specific bodies, independent. The deans have very strong power, decision power, and there is rather very low or no experience with the interinstitutional cooperation within the university. And we had to overcome barriers in understanding, in the expectations within the project. Where we reached good result, I would say, and what is the positive experience with the project, we promoted really an interfaculty dialogue, and what is achieved already, we have collaboration of academics with different profiles. The key people within this project are 2 personalities. The one is Professor Karel Míšek, very well-known expert in graphical design. His specialization is visual communication. And the second key leader in this partial project is Dr. Vladan Hruška from the Department of Geography. The collaboration has started with an international workshop, which we called World We Want to Live In. It was organized in the year 2017. And the photo shows there were not only international guests and professors, but students from PhD programs and students from master programs have been involved. This is the list of leading academics. There were people from around the world, from Mexico, from Israel, from Warsaw, and students from the university in Ústí. And this was the start of the collaboration among geographers, creative people, and historians. And they have, and now I will present some results and some achievements of that collaboration. The city Ústí nad Labem experienced disastrous floods in the year 2013. And the team has reacted to the need of managing floods, being prepared in the local community, and has designed so-called floods emergency package, which should serve for educational purposes for schools, for the local community. And the story is that this is professional design developed in the collaboration, on the way of the collaboration among economists and geographers. This has been already presented at various events in schools and has very positive acceptance. Another example is the poster and information materials about local versus global food, about the promotion and motivation to buy and consume local food, what's the importance of the local food, how can it contribute to the health of the community, and how can it contribute to the economic development of the local community. The example of brownfields, this is again a poster explaining what is the brownfield, why we should change it, why we should redevelop it, what's the role of the city and the role of the citizens. Again, the idea is to transform the ideas and stories into a visual presentation, which is then tested at with the local community. This is the story and the problem, the regional problem of the brain drain. This is shared by, I think, most old industrial regions. The well-educated people, young people, they are leaving the region and they get settled in Prague, which is very attractive city with very good quality of life. And this, again, this poster and this visual materials should motivate the community and the local community to rethink that future planning. Very active was the team in the valorization of regional industrial heritage. The team has identified important artifacts of industrial heritage in the region in an intensive multidisciplinary dialogues, and they have again developed for some of that artifacts for some sites a set of visual materials which are now used in the communication with the community and will find use maybe in museums and for other purposes. This is the old industrial water line in small town close Ústí nad Labem, and again this is the description of the story of this water line and the current use, what might be again how this water line might be productive again. This is a poster which has informed about a walk along this old water line, motivating the people to join and describing the story and inviting them. This is an old industrial villa in a city, in a town near the Ústí nad Labem. This is a villa coming from it's an old German villa, because I have mentioned there was very rich German population, German entrepreneurs, and this villa is now serving for the presentation of specific design articles, becoming attractive image, a special place where the design can be studied and presented. Again, the last example is the old gramophone factory in Ústí nad Labem. The team is writing a book about this old gramophone factory, and is working on the marking, on special marking on the street, how the people could get navigated to get better to that place. We might summarize the effects of this collaboration, which is still ongoing. We would say it has very high potential. It provides potential examples for an attractive presentation of the geographic research. It's very well received, the presentation about this collaboration, the visual elements is very well received even at scientific conferences. We have to say the interest in multidisciplinary collaboration is not universal. It's really based on the leading role, on the leadership and motivation of people. They really understand and support this idea of interdisciplinary collaboration. As I have already mentioned, we had to overcome some communication problems. We had to overcome the institutional barriers, and I have to say the deans, they didn't play always a positive role. They were not, some of them they were not so supportive, but what is important, the collaboration has started, it's ongoing, and we hope it was an incentive, a nudge for change of the behavior of the academic people, which might result in interesting and attractive results, valid and important not only for the local community, but also for the academic community and for the research work. Maybe the last image. This is a cover from a book or from a booklet for a conference. We have, for a very large international conference, we have organized in Ústí in 2020. This was organized by the Association Planning, Law and Property Rights. We have invited more than 400 people to Ústí, and they were very impressed by the city, and they found it very interesting. And the organizational team called the city post-industrial diamond, which was a little bit surprising for us. And it has discovered for us new perspective, another perspective of the city image, which might be the base of this rethinking of this post-industrial regions, their role and potential for the future. Thank you for the attention. If you would like to get more information, please contact my colleague, Dr. Vladan Hruška, who is the leading person in this small team coordinating the collaboration among geographers and creative people. And he has published already some interesting papers and could give you more details about this kind of experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It just took less than 40 minutes, and that's I hope that's good. I hope you told us everything you want to, and if somebody have some questions, so go on, please. So no, nobody. So I have to announce one more event today. I have to remember you that 3:30 we have one more meeting for the same link. So please join us. It will be very interesting and useful too. Thank you all for your attention, for your joining us right now. Thank Irina, Anka, and Katarina for your smart editing, for your minds, for your thoughts, and that was very useful for us, very interesting for us. And have a nice day. Thank you all, and goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.